Stop. Tomorrow might not come. I'm 90 years old, and I've learned that the hardest part isn't what you do. It's what you don't do, the words you don't say, the calls you don't make. I'm recording this because someone needs to hear it. Maybe it's you. My name's Robert, but people called me Bobby until I was about 40. After that I became Bob. Funny how names change when life gets serious. I grew up in a small town in Ohio. Nothing special. My father worked at the grain elevator. My mother took in sewing. We had enough, barely. I was the middle kid of 5, which meant I learned early how to disappear when I needed to, and how to fight when I had to. When I was 12, my older brother Tommy got sick, really sick, polio. This was 1947, before the vaccine. I watched him go from running faster than anyone in school to lying in an iron lung at the county hospital. I'd visit him twice a week with my mom. He couldn't move anything but his eyes. One Tuesday afternoon, I was supposed to go see him, but my friends were heading to the creek to catch crawdads, and I went with them instead. I told myself I'd go tomorrow. Tommy passed that night. He was 14. I never told anyone I skipped that visit. Not my mom, not my wife, not my kids. You're the first to know, whoever you are watching this. 63 years I carried that, and it still sits in my chest like a stone. That taught me something, though it took me decades to understand it. Time doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your plans or your excuses. I finished high school in 1953. Wasn't much of a student, but I was good with my hands. Got a job at a machine shop making parts for farm equipment. The work was honest. The pay was enough. I thought I'd do it for a year or two, save some money, maybe go to trade school. I'm still not sure what happened. 1 year became 5, became 10. Before I knew it, I was 35 years old, still at that same shop, doing the same work. I'd gotten comfortable. That's the dangerous thing about comfort. It doesn't feel like you're stuck until you try to move. Met my wife Eleanor at a church social in 1956. She had dark hair and green eyes, and when she laughed, it sounded like music. We got married 8 months later. People moved faster back then. Had our first kid, Michael, in 1958. Then Sarah in 1960. Then Danny in 1963. Eleanor wanted me to go back to school. She saw something in me I didn't see in myself. She'd bring home catalogs for engineering programs, for business courses. I'd look at them, nod, say, maybe next year. I was scared. Scared I wasn't smart enough. Scared I'd fail and prove I was exactly who I thought I was. Just a machine shop guy from nowhere. So I stayed put. Here's the second moment that changed everything. It was 1972. I was 43. My boss called me into his office and told me the shop was closing. Foreign parts were cheaper, faster. We had 60 days. I went home that night, and Eleanor had dinner waiting. Pot roast. I can still smell it. I sat down at the table with my 3 kids and my wife, and I couldn't say the words. I just froze. So I ate my dinner and said nothing. I hid it from her for 3 weeks. I'd leave the house every morning like I was going to work. Then I'd sit in my truck at the park, reading the newspaper, looking for jobs. I cashed my last paycheck and put it in the bank without telling her. When she finally found out, it wasn't from me. She ran into my former supervisor at the grocery store. She came home, and the look on her face. I'd never seen her look at me like that. Not angry, disappointed. Like she'd just figured out she'd married someone she didn't actually know. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. I didn't have a good answer then. I don't have one now. Pride, I guess. Shame. Fear of looking weak. That lie put a crack in our marriage that never fully healed. We stayed together. We loved each other. But something changed that day. Trust is like glass. Once it breaks, you can glue it back together, but you'll always see the cracks. I got another job eventually. Factory work, making auto parts. The pay was less. The hours were longer. I worked that job for 22 years until I retired in 1994. My kids grew up. Michael became a teacher. Sarah became a nurse. Danny struggled. Got into trouble as a teenager. Minor stuff, but enough to worry us. He straightened out eventually, got married, had 2 kids of his own. But those years when he was 17, 18, 19, those were hard. I didn't know how to talk to him. I'd get frustrated, angry. I thought tough love was the answer. I thought if I was hard enough on him, he'd snap out of it. What I didn't understand was that he needed me to listen, not lecture. He needed me to be present, not perfect. We didn't speak for almost 3 years. He moved out at 20, and we just stopped. Eleanor would see him sometimes, but he wouldn't come around when I was home. The third moment happened in 1998. I had a heart attack. Not a massive one, but enough to put me in the hospital for a week. I was 69 years old, and for the first time in my life, I understood in my gut that I was running out of time. Danny came to visit me. He walked into that hospital room crying. My son, who I hadn't really talked to in years, was crying because he thought he might lose me. "I'm sorry, Dad," he said. And I almost said, "It's okay." That's what I'd been trained to say. But something stopped me. Instead, I said, "I'm sorry too. I should have listened more. I should have been there." We talked for 2 hours that day. Really talked. He told me how scared he'd been as a kid, how my silences felt like punishment, how he'd always felt like he disappointed me. I told him the truth, that I'd been scared too, that I didn't know how to be a father because mine had been distant and cold, and I'd promised myself I'd be different, but somehow I'd ended up the same. That conversation saved our relationship. We got close after that. He'd come over every Sunday with his kids. We'd watch football, talk about nothing and everything. Those were some of the best years of my life. Eleanor passed in 2015. Stroke. She was here one day, gone the next. We'd been married 59 years. I thought I'd fall apart, but I didn't have any regrets about her, not big ones. Sure, I wish I'd taken her to Paris. I wish I'd danced with her more. But I'd told her I loved her every single day. I'd held her hand. I'd listened when she talked. The things I regret aren't about her. They're about all the other stuff. The job I stayed at too long. The risks I didn't take. The time I wasted being afraid. So here's what I want to tell you. Don't wait. Whatever you're putting off, the phone call, the apology, the dream, don't wait. You think you have time. You think tomorrow is guaranteed. It's not. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm saying be honest with the people you love. Say the hard things. Say the true things. Don't let pride or fear keep you silent. Take the risks that matter, the ones that scare you because they might actually work. Because the things I regret most aren't my failures. They're the things I never tried. I regret not going back to school when Eleanor wanted me to. I regret not telling her about losing my job right away. I regret the years I lost with Danny because I was too stubborn to admit I was wrong. But I don't regret that conversation in the hospital. I don't regret the Sundays we got back. I don't regret telling Eleanor I loved her every single day. You're young, younger than me. You've got time ahead of you that I don't have. Use it. Stop scrolling for a minute. Think about who you need to call, what you need to say, what you've been afraid to try. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. The clock's ticking for all of us. You can't stop it, but you can decide what you do with the time you have left. I'm 90 years old now. My kids take care of me. I see my grandkids, my great-grandkids. I sit on my porch and watch the world go by. And mostly, I'm at peace. But sometimes, late at night, I think about Tommy. About that Tuesday afternoon I chose crawdads over my brother. And I think about all the other Tuesdays in my life. The ones I wasted. The ones I let slip by. You can't get them back. So don't waste yours. Thanks for listening to an old man ramble. If this helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Not for me, for you. So you remember. So you don't forget what matters. Time's precious. Use it well.